I want to speak to you directly and cover a few things that you might want to consider when you're buying a new component for yourself. I know this is a lot of money, and that does not get lost on me. Most PrimaLuna customers are going to be very experienced audiophiles, people that are real tube heads, and they know because they've been around the block and their friends know and they're firmly entrenched, so they know that PrimaLuna is it. But you may not know that. You might be kind of new to the world of tubes. There's a few things you need to consider, and I want to cover them with you now. Build quality is obviously an important issue, but sometimes it's hard to judge that. All these components are going to look good from the outside. All of them. They all look good, even the cheapest stuff. So why are they so different? You need to look at the inside. And that's why we want you to look inside of a PrimaLuna. We want you to go to Google and go to Google Images and compare our products to our competitors. You have to find things that are firm, that you can grasp, not things that are fluff and they paint pictures and I'm buying this name brand because everybody says it's great. It's smoke and mirrors. You need to make a decision that's based on fact. Every PrimaLuna product is handmade by artisans. They have 5 coats of hand rub finish. All the point-to-point wiring is done by hand. There's no machine stuffing printed circuit boards that wave solder. Each product is put into a robotic arm where it's rotated into 6 positions while it's playing test tones and being measured for performance. It's the same thing that they do with Swiss watches that are called certified chronometers. It's labor intensive, but it's really incredible to see how the products are born. And then they're fully QC'd, they're packed with love. People even talk about the boxes and the packaging and the white gloves. Let's talk a moment about reviews. Everything's going to get a good review. Let's just assume that. I mean, why shouldn't they? It's not difficult to make a good sounding product. So how do you know what to look for? Look for this. Bob Deutsch uses the Prologue Premium Integrated for writing reviews on loudspeakers. When you're Bob Deutsch and you're so well respected, you could call any manufacturer and they would fall all over themselves to send you something. Art Dudley, when he reviewed the Dialogue Premium Power Amp, he said that it was one of the top 4 or 5 most enjoyable he had ever reviewed. And he said, I tried to find a single fault with it, and I failed. Then Bob Deutsch reviewed the Dialogue Premium HP Integrated, and he said that it competed with stereophile Class A rated separates. And then we look at Paul Ma, who didn't just fall in love with the HP Power Amp, he bought it for himself. Dick Olsher reviewed the Dialogue Premium Integrated Amp, and he said, it's my new benchmark. That means it's the best he's ever heard. Those are the phrases that you need to look for. When Sam Talig reviewed the Dialogue Premium Integrated, they gave it a stereophile Class A rating. That means the best without regard to cost. Jim Hannon is the publisher of the Absolute Sound magazine. He's used PrimaLuna separates for evaluating other products for years. It's like when you're going to pick out a restaurant. You got to find out where the locals go. And the locals go to PrimaLuna. PrimaLuna uses a design philosophy that we call smart watts. So what does that mean? A lot of you know that I own another company, and that company retubes a lot of products. In fact, we've retubed over 10,000 amplifiers over these years. So I've got a pretty good idea of who's naughty and who's nice when it comes to how hard they run their tubes. Unfortunately for you, when you're shopping for a new amplifier, it's hard to decipher that. Well, at least it seems like it's hard to decipher. Now remember, our 36 watt amplifiers are going to have better bass slam than 100-watt amplifiers from other manufacturers. You have to remember that. It is not the number of watts. It's how the power is delivered and the bandwidth. It's the same thing with solid state. You can have a cheap receiver with 200 watts per channel and it's going to sound horrible. And then a 50-watt high-end amp that's incredible. It's no different with tubes. I've got customers that retube their amps and they actually keep a log of how many hours they use the amp because they are so stressed about tube life. It should not be that way. We want you to be able to use these things every day and just relax about it. We want it to be easy. We run the tubes easy, and we don't give up anything in sound quality. In fact, they sound better. That's the way we do it. Is there such a thing as investment grade in high-end audio? Well, I don't know about that, but I do know that PrimaLuna is going to be about as close as you're going to get. They are the undisputed king of resale value. And there's a reason for that. Nobody ever sells them because they're happy and they love their gear and they love the way it sounds and it doesn't cause problems in their life. The Prologue 1 integrated amp has become a cult favorite. People want to buy them if you can find one for sale. But it's really like that with the entire line. It is sought after, and it's sought after for a reason.